Hey there, welcome to the Movie Review Mom YouTube channel. If this is the first time you've discovered my channel, yay, you're finally here. And if you're a returning subscriber, yay, thank you for coming back. I truly appreciate your support. My goal is to save you time and money by giving you the inside scoop on the content and quality of a film so that you can decide whether or not you want to spend time or money or both watching a particular film. So today's review is especially important because I think you're going to have your high hopes and then they're going to be dashed on this one. I mean, the movie, not the review, of course. The movie I'm reviewing today is called Prey. This disappointing thriller is now playing in select theaters as well as on video on demand on sites like Amazon Prime, Apple TV, Google Play, and even YouTube for pay. So the film is rated R. It's an hour and 26 minutes. And my overall movie review mom grade is a D for dud. So let me give you an overall view in a nutshell. And then I'll point out things I really liked, things I didn't like, tips for parents, themes worth talking about, funny lines, interesting lines, and we'll finish up with recommendations for some other movies that are sort of similar, but definitely better. All right, so let's get started. In a nutshell, the story is about a young couple that is compelled to leave their Christian missionary station in the Kalahari Desert after being threatened with death by an extremist militant gang. After their small aircraft crashes, along with some other people, they must battle man and beast to save their lives. While there are some faith-related moments, this is definitely not a Christian movie. The film was directed and written by Mukunda Michael DeWill. So, quick tips for parents. The film is rated R mostly because of some profanity, including several F-bombs. We see a lot of blood, but no actual attacks of animals on humans. People die, but it's all off screen, and various firearms are used. Some of the themes that are illustrated well are survival, faith, nature, teamwork, selfishness, and greed. So here's the list of things I liked about the movie. First of all, the first few images of the movie are very visceral and intriguing. And I thought, oh, okay, here we go. This is going to be good. Now, the cast includes Emile Hirsch, Ryan Philippe, and those are both really big name actors that people really like. They do a good job. Also in the cast are Mina Suvari, Jeremy Tardy, and a bunch of actors that play characters you're immediately annoyed by, and you're pretty sure they're all eventually going to die in the bloodbath that ensues, right? They're just sort of dispendable characters. You're not invested in any of them, really. And even the good characters that we like, maybe the three, or at least the more well-known actors, we're just like, we're not super committed to them because we don't really have a big backstory, and we're not giving enough material so that we feel truly engaged. Well, now I'm talking about things I didn't like. Back to the things I did like. The powerful music really gets your heart pumping, especially in Act One. And then it kind of starts to filter down. The original movie title was Kalahari. We get to see some beautiful animals, and then we also get to see some lovely cinematography of nature. Now, that's about it for the things that I liked. So, on to the list of things I didn't like. First of all, like many movies in this survival genre, many of the characters make really stupid choices, and it always drives me nuts. One moment that just really drove me nuts is when one of the characters looks up into heaven as if speaking to God and says, "It's now on you." He makes zero effort to protect or save himself. He just sits there and feels sorry for himself and figures God's going to save him if he's meant to be saved. Now, I absolutely believe in faith and prayer. I am a Christian, but I also believe that God expects us to take action and do our part and use our brains, right? So the whole time I was just rolling my eyes like, come on, dude, get up. Let's get moving. Unfortunately, we see a lot of stock footage of animals and they're kind of creeping as if they're coming close to the humans, but we never actually see any attacks. Not that I enjoy watching that. I'm just giving you the heads up. All of the animal action is off screen, and there are some very terrible acting moments. The green screen moments are very noticeable. I kept looking at my clock to see how much of more of this dumb movie I needed to endure in order to give you a full movie review. And the ending is pretty lame. Some parts of the plot are like, what? That wouldn't happen. Like we see or we hear that people were attacked, but there are no human remains, kind of, like other than this one scene, but it's not from animal attacks. So it's kind of assumed that all the animals ate every bit of all of these humans. And I don't know. I'm thinking there'd be some bones left over, right? Anyway, overall, it's very disappointing. So whenever I watch movies, of course, I take notes, but I also leave notes for funny lines and interesting lines that I hear simply so I can share them with you so you can get a taste and feel for the movie and the script writing quality and the dialogue specifically. And so one of the funny lines, really, this was the only line I could think of that came anywhere close to being funny, is when one of the characters looks at this guy who's a total jerk and he says, it must be a full-time job being a beep, insert profanity there. So, is that funny? Again, that was the only thing I could find. Not that this movie is a comedy. It's not. It's definitely a drama. But there are some interesting lines. For well, maybe this would be a funny line. Jeremy Hardy's character says, "Where are we?" And then Emile Hirsch says, "Someplace you don't want to be, kid." So that's just kind of a dumb line. Maybe I should change the title of this to Dumb Lines in the Movie. So Emile Hirsch is the biggest jerk in the movie for sure. And he's watching these Christians who are like, no, we're just going to sit here and God will take care of us, instead of like, let's go find safety. And so he looks at these Christians and says, is faith just the absence of common sense? And I hate it when Christians are portrayed as just dumb in movies, and they definitely are in this movie. And then another kind of dumb movie or dumb line is again spoken by Emile Hirsch, and he says, "If you want to live, come with me." And then, really, maybe the best line out of the whole movie is also spoken by Emile Hirsch, and he says, "I used to think I could outrun what I did, but nah, you can't." And so there's a little tiny moment of redemption for him when he realizes that, and he takes action and does some stuff. I don't want to give you any spoilers, but here are some other recommendations for films that I think that you might enjoy better. The first one that immediately came to my mind, because it's about lions and survival, is called Beast. And now it's not a great movie, but it's out in the middle of the desert or wilderness safari or whatever. And there's a guy who's trying to defend his family. And so there's a lot more emotional appeal to that one, because while the guy's got skills, he's also a dad just trying to protect his daughters and that kind of thing. And it seems like we're seeing real lions and less green screen. Another movie I thought of because it involves a plane crash is a movie called Plane. Now, it's also sort of silly, but it kind of gets you going. It's sort of believable. But my husband and I actually got a kick out of it. And then another movie I thought of is also about a plane crash called Society of the Snow. And I thought this one was really well done. And what makes it compelling is it's a true story about these sports soccer players that their plane gets crashes down in the Andes and they have to survive. Now, it's kind of a remake of the old original movie about this true story called Alive. And I remember watching that many years ago and being impacted. I'd never forgotten that story because I was just amazed at what these people had to endure. And so this new version is kind of updated, but it does a really good job of showing a lot of different elements of that story. And it also tells you a little bit of what happened after we see the events in the snow and all of that. Really well done. I'll actually cue that one up so you can watch it when you finish watching this review. And before you finish watching this review, give it a thumbs up, comment down below, subscribe, you know the drill. But when you get a minute, also run over to my Instagram movie review mom page, but you can also find me as Trina Boice because that's my name. And there you'll find all about my books, especially when I post them on Amazon for free, which is almost every weekend. You'll also learn about my online courses, my products, and my other shenanigans. Have a fantastic day, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye for now.